The church background I was brought up in was very legalistic. Not so much in my home church, but after I had grown up and graduated high school, the college I went to was even more strict than where I had grew up. And so it was there while I was in school that I began to embrace all these check off the box and live up to whatever standard that was given to us to be this perfect believer. And that became very tiring.
My journey really begins with a very conservative upbringing. Memorized verses and sang in the choir and did all the checkbox things I was supposed to do, but it was never real from the inside out until God brought me to college here in town and started to be challenged to a greater degree as far as why am I doing what I'm doing. And I'd say that was the first part of that grace journey, for me.
Well, my journey in ministry started out right after college. We moved to South Texas, to the border of Mexico, to work with a mission work down there. About 2 years later, I moved back to Greenville, and then soon after that, I was asked to be an assistant to the pastor at a local Baptist church. But in 2009, I was going to a chiropractor here in town, and he gave me the name of his mentor and said, "Hey, I think you need to go talk to my mentor." I had no idea who he was. I called the number and it happened to be Pastor Walt Hanford. And he said, "Read these books, meet me in a couple weeks and bring your wife with you." So we met Walt and Libby Hanford, and they helped us work through processes of what it looked like to live a grace-based life. And we were able to find ways to plant a church with another organization and work with another church plant after that. And through the process of things, we ended up at Fellowship Greenville in 2013.
We ended up moving from a church plant in California back east. I think it was at that point of I've tried to check all the boxes and my life still is turning out the wrong way. And God began to do work really from the inside out at that point. And that also meant some changes in my network of friends and churches. But God just was so faithful in drawing us near to Him in that time. We tried a few churches and we came to Fellowship, and we didn't want to miss the next Sunday. We were growing in our own story of grace, and we were growing at Fellowship Greenville. And then when Upstate Church Collective began, it really connected the dots when it came to the life and ministry of Christ and how that transfers to our competencies, to how we live and how we do ministry. I would say the best way that Fellowship Greenville and Summit churches can be praying for us is really that, first of all, God would just impress on the hearts of the people He wants to be here, that He would bring the right people. Over all of that is we've just been praying that God's fingerprints would be all over this, that we just ask God to be in the middle of what He's doing.
Looking at the past and looking at the future, God's always been faithful to take care of us then, and He's proven Himself faithful now. God's teaching me to take the moments He's faithful now and put those into my memory bank, I guess you could say, to be able to pull those things out in the future when things might get tough again.